Welcome! Have you ever reversed your camper and managed to damage your rear bumper? In this case, the rear quarter. Now, this is the Rhymer camper, and it's got these horrible plastic, nasty kind of, trims. Now, I started repairing it, just so I can get it fixed back, because we're going to, take it out again. It's not going to be a proper repair at this stage, because later on, I want to make some more fiberglass sections to go on the side here. But for now, I just wanted to fix it so it's not flopping about a bit like my belly. So, what I'm going to do is, or what I started doing, is actually using a piece of thermoplastic. In this case, I've got this bit of yellow here and a bit of red. I'm using the yellow, because I'm going to spray it in silver anyway. But the whole point is that I'm welding it. So I'm using a soldering iron. In this case, it's my Dremel soldering iron, and this is a gas solder. So these are ideal things to take with you in the old camp. If you want to repair on, in situ. You just had a bit of an accident. I'm a bit embarrassed, but let's just repair it. Well, this is one way of doing it. And basically, what I've started doing is, I cut a little bit of this yellow plastic and put it behind here. So let's bring it a bit closer so you can see. It doesn't look pretty at this stage, but once you get it all finished off, that'll be fine. Now, as you can see here, I hope it's not too windy. It's a bit breezy over there, but anyway. So, I've managed to stick that on. I used the clamp to start with, just to hold it on. And now what I've been doing is literally using this soldering iron to melt the plastic into the other plastic. And ideally, you'd want this flat on a bench, be a lot easier. But being it's all fixed into place, and I'm trying to demonstrate the idea that you could do this in situ. So, if you look at this stuff here, if I melt a little bit of this, I can show you. The soldering iron just melts into, and it makes into like a little plastic slurry. And you can use that plastic slurry to stick into the other plastics. They're both thermoplastics. So they basically, these moulded sides have been put into a press with heat, and it's been squished, and it's makes that shape. Now, because it's a thermoplastic, you can quite easily weld it together, like I've done here. Now, I've stuck that piece into place, which is quite good. But now what I want to do is I want to try and infill it. It's going to be a little bit awkward, because ideally you do that on a bench, so you can flow it into the hole. But I'm going to do it vertically. If it doesn't, look that pretty, I'm not too worried, because I'm going to take these off anyway later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little strip of this off. And that is going to be a bit like like a piece of solder. If you think of a piece, you've got a little length of solder. In this case, I've got a little length of thermoplastic. I'm going to take that off there like so, using my soldering iron, or you could even just use a little blowtorch this bit to melt it into place. So I want to fill this up a little bit and fill that hole up down there, because that's actually not doing anything, that hole. So I'm going to basically stick this, or try to, into the hole. It's a bit awkward because like I say, I haven't actually got it on a bench. If it was on the bench, you'd be able to melt it and allow it to flow into the hole, but I can't. So there you go, there's that one that's filled up already. See that? I've also managed to melt the other bit, but I'm not worried about that. So it looks like a bit of a bodge, which it is. I think these campers are a bit of a bodge as well sometimes, but so I'm going to keep adding more plastic into there. There's another way you could do this. Instead of actually trying to... Oh, there's a wasp, go away. Instead of trying to build it up this way and bit by bit, you could even cut a little piece of plastic that's going to fit in that hole, just to make life a little bit easier, just speed things up a little bit. So I'm just going to cut that out there like so. And into a shape that'll fit into that hole. So I'm just going to cut that around there like so. Trim. Now, if you wanted to, you could just put a bit of filler in there if you wanted to, but then sand it down flush it goes off, which I might end up doing that as well. But at this stage, I'm not too worried. And then I get my little clamp, and I can clamp that to there now. Just hold it partially into place, and now I can use. I haven't made a very good job of that, but then I can use my soldering iron to melt it so it stays put, just to get the volume. And like I said, I'm using it to fill the hole like so. So basically, once that cools down, that top bit now will be stuck. You could probably use a better end on here. There are some better ends on here which I should have put on before, which is like this kind of end here, which can actually flatten, so you could roll that over the top, but then you can sort of like, you almost like iron it into place. But me being an idiot, I forgot to put it on. But to start with, I needed the old soldering end anyway, so I'm just basically working it in like so. And now if I move this out of the way, that's actually stuck into place. So now what I just got to do now is to basically stick it down all the way around, because this has only been used as a way of filling the hole. Not worried about strengthening it in that point. I suppose it does strengthen it a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that. The ultimate bodge. Indeed, I should change that end. Right, I'm going to probably change that end. Now to do that, I need to use a tool. Oh God, this is going to be fun. Or do I... So this one here is the ideal one, because you can just kind of use that as a way of soften it into place, but also you can actually solder it at the same time. The other option you've got is just to use one of these windproof blow torches and literally heat it up bit by bit on the surface. Don't go mad because you don't want to damage anything. And then using like a piece of metal that I've got this old reel here, and I'm literally just going to flatten that into the space, which is kind of working out quite well really. So I'm going to turn my soldering iron off, like so. A good thing those Dremel gas soldering irons are very useful. So bit by bit, we just heat that up, and then we just flatten it into place until we're satisfied that it's kind of together. You have to heat it up enough just to get some warmth into it. Don't worry about the burning, because that'll be sanded away. So, just need to heat it up there. Don't set a light to yourself, because that wouldn't be a good idea. So I'm going to play with that a bit more and get that into a much better shape and that. But anyway, that's kind of what you can do to do a repair. It's there. It's not, you know, it's going to hold. So, you know, you can go around the back here if you want and sort of like stitch all the back edge to it as well. But there probably isn't any need, because there's a fitting. There's going to be a screw going there which just holds it into place. Anyway, thank you for watching, and you guys kindly click like and subscribe, and maybe a little bell icon, because then you get a warm buzzy pin in your pocket, and that'll be me uploading another video. Anyway, thank you for watching.